Hello, this is Yulia Goff with Resilient Life Counseling and Wellness in Farmington, Utah. And today I'm very pleased to have Rosey Schaefermeyer, LCSW, with me. She's our clinical director. She's our therapist as well, but also kind of pertinent to today's topic, she is an EMDR consultant, and we wanted to chat a little bit about EMDR.
We love EMDR.
We do.
I do.
Yes, and I mean it's a really powerful modality. It's, I think, kind of gained a little bit of momentum, right?
Definitely.
So actually, I really just would love to hear from you, Rosey. Like, what is EMDR? People hear what it is, they see representations in TV shows, but really, from the consultant, what is EMDR?
Okay. So EMDR is a evidence-based, there's lots of research to show works, and it stands for eye movement desensitization reprocessing. Okay. And what that means is it's a model used to treat trauma. And so to me, the best example would be a very basic one. If someone were in a car accident, right, that traumatic experience might impact our ability to drive. It may even impact like other areas of our life. Maybe we suddenly just feel very anxious and out of control, or we feel afraid that something bad is going to happen. So when we have an experience like that, EMDR is like the perfect modality for it. And the reason is EMDR is going to help your brain to organize the traumatic experience differently than it's currently organized. So with the car accident example, if I'm in the car accident and let's say I'm now terrified to drive, I'm afraid something bad is going to happen again. My brain has stored that experience, the car accident, as being like that being in a car is unsafe. That's how my brain has organized it. So in EMDR, what we're going to do is we're going to go back into this experience and we're going to reprocess it, which means we're going to have the brain look at it again. So we're going to unfortunately have to feel some of the feelings from the experience. We're going to have some of the thoughts, some of the images are going to come back up. But what's going to happen is because I'm currently safe and regulated, my brain can maybe kind of slow down a little bit and break up what really happened and kind of see it for what it is versus organize it in a way that's sort of damaging for me. So that's what the reprocessing piece is. The desensitization is that as it's sort of like exposure therapy, if you've ever heard of exposure therapy, or if you just think of the concept of exposure, the more we expose ourselves to something, the more we can tolerate it. So the same thing occurs with EMDR. As we think about this car accident over and over, our mind and our emotions begin to desensitize their reactions to it. And so the event becomes less and less significant to the person.
Yeah. So instead of being this overpowering experience,
right.
What I hear from clients and just kind of, I don't know, somewhere in the ether where I hear things about EMDR, I often hear that people still very much remember the experience. They remember that it was scary or whatever, painful, otherwise traumatic. But as they're able to talk about it, they're not overcome with those same emotions. And those sort of beliefs tied to that event are not really running their life.
Correct.
Like maybe sometimes they are when a person has been in an accident and can no longer be on the road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great.
Well, thank you. Yeah, well, it's such a fascinating modality. One thing that I heard from some clients is that EMDR helped them move through things quicker than talk therapy. Yeah. So I don't know, some thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely.
Explanation, perhaps?
Yeah. So the problem with talk therapy, there is certainly a place for it, by the way.
Sure.
But the problem with talk therapy is we tend to not feel our experiences. We're talking about our experiences. So it's almost like we're looking at something with the therapist, but we're not actually dealing with it, right? And in EMDR, the very intent is that we're going to manhandle this experience until it changes. We're going to be with the experience. And so EMDR, so one of the components that makes EMDR maybe different than talk therapy is something called bilateral stimulation.
Yeah.
So bilateral stimulation is where we're accessing your full brain by stimulating both sides of your brain at the same time. So in EMDR, the E and the M stand for eye movements. So initially, when the therapy was created, you were using, they used only eye movements to do this. Can I show you really quick? We're going to show the camera.
Absolutely,
so
yes,
therapy,
let's demonstrate.
The way it would look, you wouldn't actually sit next to your client. That's not really typical. But Yulia's eyes would follow my fingers, just like this. Okay, so this is bilateral stimulation, right? Again, we wouldn't be sitting this close to each other. But that's sort of the concept is as your eyes move back and forth, we're accessing the full span of the brain. And it's interesting. They don't know all the reasons bilateral stimulation works, actually. They've done a lot of research. They don't know exactly. They just know it does. There's definitely some different theories. One of the theories is that that something about this motion does help the brain process more quickly. And we know that from REM sleep. When someone's in REM sleep, their eyes are moving and they're sort of disseminating information in the brain really quickly during that portion of sleep. So they think it has something to do with that. But today in EMDR, you don't have to do eye movements. You can also, therapists will use little tappers that buzz in your hands back and forth, or you could tap your own legs. There's different ways to do.
Yeah, there's the butterfly.
Yeah,
what
the
are they called?
Butterfly hug. Where you're
butterfly
tapping.
hug. Yes, yes. Sometimes even audio, right?
Yeah,
I've heard of people using audio as well.
Beeping in your ears.
Yeah. Do you find that people have like a preference for one or the other? That maybe audio or tapping is more popular than eye movements.
I found that some people process better with their eyes closed, and so they prefer either the buzzing in their hands or the audio because they can close their eyes, and some people can sort of visualize better with their eyes closed. But some people, closing their eyes actually makes them maybe check out a little bit or dissociate or something like that. And so the eye movements are actually really helpful to keeping them present and grounded. So I actually usually with clients, I start with eye movements and see if that will work. And if it doesn't, then we'll try something else. But there's definitely not like a right way to do it.
Yeah, it's amazing to have some options. During COVID, I think there were some studies done on doing EMDR virtually instead of in an office with a therapist. And it was found to be, from what I know, correct me if I'm wrong, that it works just as well.
It does.
Which I thought was very interesting and empowering.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to, drive to the office to be there with a therapist in person to take advantage of this.
Yeah. And there's great programs out there to use. Like I use a program where they're looking at the screen and I can control the dot that they're watching on the screen.
Yeah, I've done the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is really cool. Something I just have to add to, though, is something I love about EMDR is it's not just past focus. So we're not just going to target the past experience that was traumatic.
Tell us more.
We're going to also understand how that past experience is influencing how we show up in our life right now. So in the car accident example, right, the present symptoms would be, I don't like to get in cars, and maybe now I'm also like scared to go to school because I'm just so afraid of being out of control, right? Something like that. So in EMDR, we're gonna clear this past experience, but then we're gonna look at like, okay, what's going on with those present symptoms? Have they cleared with it, or are they still a problem? And if they're still a problem, then we're gonna do that same process with some of these present things.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna make sure all of that feels good, and then we're gonna have them think about the future too. Okay, in the future, if you're in a difficult situation in a car, or something bad happens, how do you want to respond? And we're going to try and strengthen those feelings as well. Yeah. So that's something I really love about it is that it is very past, present, future oriented. Like it really is looking at the person's, like the big picture, and not just like, well, if we make you feel better about the past, then you'll feel better, because that's not necessarily true.
Well, and if it's true, it's not utilizing the modality to its full potential.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and for me personally, I think one of my most favorite pieces of EMDR is that future focus. Yeah. Where we develop specific tools for approaching situations that have been problematic in the past or the present. Yeah. So very empowering. Yeah. Well, and but it can be kind of intense, and I have heard from clients that they're a little worried, if not scared, to start EMDR. So what would you say to a person, maybe they're watching, like, man, that sounds really powerful and really cool, and I'm a little nervous. Yeah. How could that look for a client who is maybe a little hesitant?
So I would tell that person, you're probably right to be nervous. It is like in the literature, the maybe criticism of the therapy would be that it is more abrasive, but the reason for that is because it works quickly. So the person's moving through a lot quickly. So that is a valid concern. I would tell you, if you're with a good EMDR therapist, which we have several at Resilient Life,
yes, we do.
They will help kind of build, we call it resourcing. They're going to help resource you first so that you can feel some confidence going into the hard part, that you can handle facing what you need to face and sorting through. And even, I think it's a good thing for all people to remember, your mind is designed to heal itself. So it does have the tools it needs to. One of the skills we use a lot is called container. And container is basically like, you can go and talk about something hard, and then you can be done and close that up and go do something else and not be feeling the hard feelings. And so the therapist can work with you on developing those skills so that when you do the hard work, it doesn't linger. And if it does, then we might push pause and clean some things up in therapy and then try again. Keep going.
Yeah, and I think the supportive structure of EMDR, setting people up for success from the beginning, is really important, because sometimes I think folks see something in a TV show where a person comes in and they just jump into their toughest trauma.
Yeah, right.
That is not how EMDR ought to work, and certainly that's not how it works at Resilient Life.
Yeah.
We do a lot of that resource development initially for folks to handle that intensity just at the right pace for them to process and move forward in a healed, more whole way.
Yes.
So, just kind of as closing thoughts, what would you like to share? What do you want people to know?
I would honestly say, and maybe it feels a little corny, but I really am a believer in healing, that healing is possible. And I think EMDR is a really great modality to try if you haven't, or maybe even if you have and it was a bad experience, it might be worth trying with another therapist. If you know that your past experiences are holding you back from living the way you want to live and looking forward to the future you want to. Like, if that's kind of what's going on for you, I really do think EMDR is worth engaging in and giving a real shot at, and that your brain can heal. You're capable of it.
Fascinating. Rosey, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
If you would like to try EMDR, Resilient Life, not only has Rosey, but several of us who are trained in the modality and receive really solid support on a consistent basis to really do it to fidelity and perform EMDR effectively with our clients. And so if that sounds appealing to you, I would invite you to ask any of our therapists about it and see how you can find out more. As always, you can find us at resilientlifeutah.com, and we have our contact information there if you'd like to schedule an appointment or have any other questions.